that time. I know a lot of you have been eager to panic over our season, and now we have a reason to. Just a week after our razor-thin loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, we were defeated by the likes of a Chicago Bears team whose offense we smothered. It reminds me of another game where we held them to perpetual 3-and-outs. And like Super Bowl 50, we were the superior team, and the game came down to a few pivotal moments. Not so Riverboat Ron was right when he explained that this loss was emboldened by just 3 plays. Those 2 chance 75-yard touchdown turnovers and the busted coverage that led to the bomb to running back Tariq Cohen. It's always frustrating to lose, but to lose to one of the NFC's worst teams in the way that we did, it can make you want to rip your hair out. Which is why I choose Rogaine for Men. For all of your football-induced male pattern baldness. They don't sponsor us, but they should. I know it's hard, but let's remember there are a wealth of factors that lead to a victory or loss. We don't win because we're just the best, and we don't lose because we just suck. As a fan, I get it, but as much as it fits a narrative, nothing is ever just black or white. Okay, yes, sometimes it's black or white, but you're always better for thinking critically and examining every variable that could be at play, and that's really for anything. You know what time it is. This is 3 things we learned. Well, we'll take a look at the events that led to this Soldier Field tragedy. And let's start off with more or less the theme of the game. Number 1, it's not what it looks like. Let me spout off a few facts for you. Bears had 150 yards of offense. The Panthers had 300. Bears had the ball for 20 minutes. The Panthers had it for 40. The Bears had only 5 first downs. Actually, the fewest ever allowed by the Panthers defense. The Panthers, 20. Let's not get it twisted. We bested the Bears in every statistical category. Unfortunately, we just didn't have anything in the most crucial: luck. We actually finished with -5 luck on the day. The entirety of the Bears' scores came from a pair of 75-yard turnovers, which really showed nothing more than being in the right place at the right time. Needless to say, this is a game we should have won, and we did. On paper. But alas, the NFL cares less about which team had a better performance and more about that all-important box score. That being said, we still failed to capitalize on multiple scoring opportunities. After driving the ball down the field for half quarters at a time, we had zilch to show for it. This production means nothing if we can't score. The Bears had no production but could score. We had ample production but couldn't, and take a look at the result. At the end of the day, the only stats that matter are points scored and points against. And while we won in almost every aspect of this game, we lost the only one that matters. So let's not get it twisted. We could have and should have done more regardless of the circumstances. Which brings us to our next point. Number 2, could not bear Ron Rivera. There's something that's haunted Ron Rivera since he was a wee rookie coach: time management. For some reason, he can't manage time effectively, specifically time outs. He has meanwhile been sensational at managing expectations. But the final drive of the first half was perhaps the most negligent time management I've seen from the Riverboat. With less than 45 seconds left, Ron allowed 20 seconds to run off the clock before burning our final timeout. The next play, a big gainer and a nice adjustment from Kelvin Benjamin, put us comfortably into field goal range. Of course, this didn't do us any good because the clock hit 0 with less than a second before getting into formation, let alone spiking the ball. This mishandling of the clock is something I'd expect from a rookie or Browns coach, but not someone as tenured as Ronnie. To add fuel to the fire, Rivera made a dubious decision to say the least when he opted to punt the ball instead of attempting a 56-yarder with Gano. The Scottish Rocket's career long had been a 59-yarder he made in Washington, and he's long displayed the strength needed to hit these types of field goals, so accuracy is a different story. Of course, we later found out that Gano was facing an injury. If only we had another kicker who could take that shot. Yeah, not exactly the guy I was thinking. Nevertheless, the best run ships across the league instilled discipline in their players while managing time effectively. That's one of the biggest coach's tasks. Coach's biggest tasks. Reed's a large man is what I'm saying. So far this season, we've done neither. And to be quite honest, that's not the only thing we've been lacking. Number 3. Turnovers and take-backs. The Panthers have a turnover problem. While we face a stagnant run game and the increasing need to stretch the field, this could all be remedied by improving our turnover differential. For those not familiar with the term, it's essentially the difference between our defense's interceptions and fumbles recovered versus our offense's interceptions and fumbles given. There's actually only one team in the league that gives the ball away more and takes the ball away less. Just take a gander at who that might be. This stat is usually largely indicative of a team's success. The fact that we're even 4-3 despite this speaks volumes about how we've been able to overcome mistakes with sheer talent. Imagine if we had both talent and turnovers. Now, the most consequential plays from scrimmage were Curtis Samuel's fumble and Kellberger Benjamin's tip that led to an interception. So the real nail in the coffin is, while these plays had nothing to do with their talent, we weren't able to match their turnovers with ours. We've struggled with turnovers all season. In fact, we have yet to record an interception since Clark Kent's behind the back catch week 1. Boy, it's going to be great to have him back. If we're going to allow opposing defenses to steal possessions away from us, we are going to have to return the favor. You know, if we want to win. Unless, of course, we're simply able to outscore them. That'd work too. And while we've been able to drive the ball down the field, we haven't been able to score consistently. So you see the dilemma. Our yardage gained has far exceeded our points scored. So many great drives wasted. And to bring it full circle, it's in part due to our running game, or lack thereof. When you can't run the ball, you can't stretch the field, and you can't score. It's that domino effect again. Our offense is almost there. We're just a couple of players and tweaks from being the dominant team we were a couple years ago. If we had a healthy Ryan Khalil, Greg Olsen, and even the speed of Demir Bird, I truly believe we'd be in the elite conversation. My point is, while we lost the Bears, it does not mean our season is over. Far from it. There's a lot of talent on this team and a lot of football to be played. Don't you give up on me just yet, Panther Nation. Well, that is all we have for you today. If you liked this video, be sure to share it with your friends and anyone who might enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications. We put a ton of work into each and every video, and you definitely don't want to miss out on it. And as always, be sure to answer our question of the day in the comment section. If you had the keys to the offense for a day, what plays would you call? And perhaps more importantly, what would you cut out entirely? Let's get the discussion going. I will see your beautiful faces soon. Stay blue, my friends. I wanna dream.